I don't know what's going on with my iPad. It doesn't factor by grouping. So, when I can't factor by grouping, what will be my choice?
PRRs.
Yep. And then I'm going to have to do some division. So my PRRs are going to be factors of 20 over factors of 1. So these, plus or minus, these are the numbers that I'll be guessing, and hopefully, I think I'm going to try -1. That looks kind of promising. So I'll go ahead and divide in -1. It might not work, which is no big deal. I'll just pick a different one. Oh, but I think it does work. So -1 worked for me. Now what does that mean if -1 works?
We found 0. Alright, the last one is equal to 0.
Okay, so that means that on my number line, I am going to have a dot at -1. I'm not sure where to put it yet, but I'm going to have a dot at -1. Now there are going to be 2 more dots because there's 3 altogether. So where will the other ones come from?
Do we have to factor it out?
What do I factor out?
Right.
Yes, I'm going to factor something. What am I going to factor?
20, -20.
No, I'm going to factor
the bottom,
x
the bottom
squared plus x minus 20. Right. After I did the division, I started with an x cubed, so what I have left now is x squared plus x minus 20, and I need to factor that. How does x squared plus x minus 20 factor?
You can do x plus 5, x minus 4.
Okay, that's perfect. And that tells me, remember we said there were 3 dots and we divided and knew one was at -1? This tells me where the other ones are. Where are the other ones?
Wait, is it equal to 0 still?
Uh-huh.
Is that so it'll be -5 plus 4?
Yep. So I'm going to have a dot. Let me draw my number line. So I'm going to have a dot at -5, -1, and +4. Now, this is where you really have to be paying attention. There's 3 dots there. There should be 3 factors. What is the third factor? What is the factor that gave me that dot? Or would give me that dot? X what?
1.
Plus 1.
X minus 1.
No,
plus
plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. Look, Jameson, x plus 5 gave me -5. So x plus 1 will give me -1. Now, the reason that I need all those factors is because now I have to decide where I'm going to shade. And I need to plug in to all of the factors. I got to use all the factors when I'm determining where to shade. So I'm going to pick a number, and I do this with all my inequalities. I'm going to pick a number. Oh, by the way, these should be colored in, shouldn't they? Because that was an or equal to. So I'm going to pick a number that isn't a dot. So Jameson, pick a number, any number on the whole number line that is not a dot.
3.
3. Now you've got to pay attention to where 3 is. 3 is in here. Now I'm going to plug 3 into my factors. So 3 plus 1, that'll be 4. 3 plus 5, that'll be 8. 3 minus 4, that'll be negative 1. Now these are all times together. So when I multiply them together, I get negative 32. Is negative 32 bigger than 0?
No.
No.
Wait.
So all that means, no, negative 32 is not bigger than 0. It's a negative number. That means that this section is not shaded because it didn't work. That automatically means the sections on either side of it are shaded because the shading alternates. No matter what inequality you're doing, unless it's one of those very strange ones, which we hardly did any of those, you're going to alternate your sections. So you figured out that section didn't work. That automatically means this one does and this one does. So now it's time to write my answer. The picture is not the answer. The answer is the interval. That is the brackets and parentheses thing. So negative 5 to negative 1, or 4 to infinity. Because those are the parts of the number line that are shaded. Okay? So now, Katie or Scruggo, you guys get to ask a question. What question? Each one of you gets to ask one. So one of you ask one.
I don't really even have a question. Well, yeah, are we taking a test over chapter 2 anytime soon?
No. Well, we're going to have a big quiz next week, but it will have some chapter 2 and some chapter 3 on it.
But like the homework, the one where it was like 4, it was like a 4 number equation with x squared, x, and then, you know what I'm talking about? It was like,
I don't know. You find the problem and ask me, and I will do it. Okay, Katie, what do you want to do? Just find it, Jaden, and we'll do it. What?
Could you do a problem like this is on the practice quiz?
Sure.
It's 3x plus 1 over x minus 1 is greater than 2.
Greater than 2. All right, this is one of the questions on the quiz. Now it has a lot of similarities to Jameson's because it's an inequality, but it's not, there's no PRRs and all that. What we have to do is get a 0 over here. So we're going to subtract the 2. And I put it over 1 because I know that my next step is going to be to combine these two fractions. So I'm going to think of that 2. I subtracted it over minus 2, and it's over 1. Now, my common denominator is going to be x minus 1. So I am going to multiply the top and the bottom of this fraction, this 2 here. I'm going to give the top an x minus 1 and the bottom an x minus 1, so that the two denominators are the same. So then I can write one fraction with one denominator, which is x minus 1, period, x minus 1. And then the numerator is 3x plus 1 minus 2x plus 2. Remember, when you distribute this, it's minus 2x plus 2. So now the top of the fraction is x plus 3 when I combine all my like terms. And the bottom of the fraction is still x minus 1. So now it becomes exactly like Jameson's. I go to the number line, and there's only 2 dots this time. A dot for the numerator and a dot for the denominator. So those aren't in parentheses physically, but they're treated just as though they were in parentheses. Now I do exactly what Jameson did. I look at my number line and I pick a number, not -3 or 1, but any other number. So what would be a number not -3 or 1?
-1.
-1. I gotta pay attention to where the number is, because what I am trying to do is figure out if this section is being shaded, because that's where my number is that I'm choosing. So I'm gonna plug in -1, so I get 2 over -2. If I put in -1 for this x and this x, I get 2 over -2, which is -1. Is -1 greater than 0?
No.
So that means, once again, I don't shade where I guessed. It didn't work. So if I don't shade here, then I do shade here, and I do shade here. So then I write my answer, which is the intervals. So I've got both arrows shaded, so I'm going to use -infinity to -3, or 1 to infinity. All right, Scruggo, did you find a problem?
Yes.
What is it?
It's x cubed plus 2x squared minus 19x minus 20.
Jameson, isn't that your problem?
This is Jameson's?
Jam, we did that problem already. Wasn't it
Oh.
minus 19x minus 20, Jameson? Wasn't that your problem?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the homework.
I don't know. It just sounds very familiar.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought I was coming for help on chapter 3. I didn't know what to ask.
That's
No.
perfectly okay. That's what you're supposed to be coming for help for. So now what do you
Okay.
want to do on chapter 3?
Am I allowed to look at a problem off the homework, or is that not allowed?
No, you can look at a problem on the homework, but you have to tell me what it is, because I don't have my homework
Okay.
paper.
Okay, I'm putting up the homework now. I just didn't know what you meant. I didn't. Can we do 81 over 16 to the -3/4 power?
This should be a cinch for us. We did this today. Remember, we start with the negative. What does a negative do?
It makes it flip.
So it's going to become 1681ths to the 3/4. Now, what does a fractional exponent always mean? When the exponent's a fraction, what does that always mean?
Fractional exponent.
Guys, oh my gosh.
That's irrational.
It means there's a radical, yeah.
Radical, sorry.
Fractional exponents
Oh,
mean
yeah,
a
I knew that. I didn't know
radical.
how to explain it.
So under the radical is 1681ths. The denominator tells me it's the 4th root, and the numerator tells me I'm cubing it. So now I have to take the 4th root of 16.
2.
2, very good. We really need to know these very common numbers. The 4th root of 16 means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. What is the 4th root of 81?
3.
Yes, it's 3, yes. Because 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 81. Now, I still have to do this, I still have to do this part. So I still have to cube it. So now I cube each piece. 2 to the 3rd,
6.
no. 2 times 2 times 2,
8.
8. And 3 to the 3rd,
27.
Yep, so that's your final answer, 8/27. Now, if you have another question from chapter 3, I'll take it. I just wasn't going to do a million of the quiz questions because that wasn't right for the other kids. But they could be here asking about chapter 3, so whatever you want.
Can we do one to state the initial value and the rate of growth?
Yeah,
So it's y equals 4.75 in parentheses 1.07x.
okay, well, these are super easy. We did these last time. We want to know, you said you want to know what the initial value is? You can look at the equation and tell me.
Value and rate.
What, you can tell both of those things by looking at it. You don't even need to do any work. What is the initial value?
4.75.
4.75.
Oh, and then the rate is, isn't it up 7%?
Yep, so it's a 7% growth. Yep, that's exactly right.
That's it? That's all we
That's
gotta
it.
do?
That's all you have to do. That is so easy. That's all you have to do.
Might as well do the rest of the homework.
Well, I'm not going to stand here and do the whole homework assignment for you, but I will
Yes.
answer questions about ones you don't know how to do.
Well, I just asked for one of each, so now I know how to do it.
Well, then, yeah, you can finish it. Is there another exponent problem we need to do? Is one of those kind of hard?
20, wait, for when it's rate of growth, if it's 0.835, don't you do 0.83 minus 100?
100 minus 83.5, yes. Yes. Because the rate of, that would be a decay problem, and the rate of decay is however less than 100, however much less than 100 your number is.
And then can we, it says write an equation of 0, 3 to 12.
All right, okay, I did one of these already also, but I'll do this one. Okay? And it's an exponential equation. So that means a times b to the x. That's the kind of equation that I'm looking for. All right? So how do I start? What do I do first?
The zeros always, the one with zeros always.
Okay, so I know that my a is 3. So I can just do that. I can just write that down. Now I need to find b, and that's going to take a little more work. So what do I do to find b?
Put the x in for, the 2 in for x and the 12 in for y.
Yep, so 12 equals 3 times b to the second. All right, now how do I solve that? I got to get b by itself.
Divide by 3,
Divide by 3,
and then square root.
and then square root. So b equals 2. Don't forget though, your job is to write the equation. So y equals 3 times 2 to the x. That's the actual answer to the question, because you were supposed to write an equation. Okay, now I'll do one more quick inequality, and then we're going to be done, okay?
Alright.
So we did, the question Katie asked was a quiz question, and the other quiz question is an easier version of the one Jameson asked. There's nothing as hard as Jameson's on the quiz, but there's a smaller one, something like this. okay? So this is just an x squared, it's not an x cubed. So what do you think is the first thing I'm going to do?
Are you asking me or Katie?
I'm asking anybody. Y'all have to take the
Get the
quiz,
factors.
right?
Factor.
Yep, you have to factor it. So how does this one factor? And we're going to factor carefully, because if we factor wrong, we're going to get the wrong answer. So how's this going to factor?
Is it would it be 1 and 9?
Sounds reasonable to me. What about signs?
It'll be -9 plus
Minus 9.
Now, you guys did great. It actually is right, but I sense some uncertainty. So what I want you to make sure you take the time to do is, after you get it factored, however, whatever you think the factors are, take 2 seconds and FOIL it back out. And, excuse me, make sure that it's right. So see how this comes out to be -8, just like you want it to be? -8? Perfect. So now we've got these 2 factors. This is my check. I'm not going to let that confuse me. Now I have my 2 factors. So I'm going to go to the number line. There's going to be 2 dots on the number line. Where are those dots going to be for this problem?
1 and +9.
Ooh, be careful. Did
No,
you say
-1,
-1 and
sorry.
+9? Yeah. -1 and +9. That's right. In addition, those dots will be colored in, right? Scruggo, where are you?
Right here.
Okay, I can't see you.
My bad. I have my iPad set up, but it fell down. And I broke it.
All right. Now what do? This is just like Jameson's problem and just like Katie's problem. Once I get the dots on the number line, I pick a number. And I can pick any number I want as long as it's not one of my dot numbers. So what are we picking this time?
2.
2. Now, pay attention. Where is 2? 2 is in the middle, right? So I am checking to see if I should shade in here. So let's see. I'm going to put 2 into my problem. So I get 3 in the first parentheses and -7 in the second parentheses.
That works.
I'm going to multiply them together and I get -21. And like Scruggo said, -21 is less than 0. That means that I shade where my number was. Now remember, the shading alternates. So if you shaded there, you won't shade on either end, will you? So the only answer is that little section right there. No arrows are shaded, no infinities. We're going with just this. So I'll have
So
a,
there could be different kinds of shades. If like say if I pick a different number, it'll be a different shade. Like what if I pick like
no. If you, okay, let's talk, first of all, let's get the answer written down. These are closed dots, so they're brackets. All right, now let's pretend that's the answer. I mean, we're not pretending that. That is the answer. But let's pretend we're back to where we were with the dots on the number line. Okay? Now, pick whatever number you want, Jameson.
let's do like 6.
6.
Or something.
All right, 6 is fine. But notice, isn't 6 in the same spot? Isn't 6 in between here? So you still want 6, or you want to try one out here? I don't care.
10. 10.
10. All right, so now we're trying 10. All right, we're pretending that we haven't already done the problem. So if we pick 10, I get 11 times 1. If I put in 10. Well, 11 times 1 is 11. Is 11 less than 0?
No.
No. So that means I don't shade out there. Well, if I don't shade out there, then I will shade here and I won't shade here. So Jameson, yeah, there is only one way to shade. Now, you might pick a number in a different spot, and so while I pick one in here and shade it, you might pick one out here that doesn't shade, but our answer is still going to be the same.
So you'll always get a negative 1 coming up, regardless.
For this problem, your answer will be right here. Yes. This
Okay.
is not the answer to every problem in the whole wide world. But this is this is the answer you're going to get every time you do that problem. There's only one answer to every problem of these kind. Okay?
Okay.
Okay? So,
Yep.
Katie's problem that she asked about is on the quiz. And this kind of problem is on the quiz. You have a practice quiz that is completed and on video. You have these two problems are completed and they will be on video. I haven't put them up yet because it's still taping, but I will. And that's what the quiz is about. All right? So last call, I'll do one more problem from chapter 3. Anybody have one more thing from chapter 3? Our new material.
I do not. I've already done the homework.
You've done the homework, all right? Well, why don't you send that to me so it's not late? That's good. It's early. Good. Do the other two of you have a remaining question from either the notes or the homework for chapter 3? We've had 2 days of work. You're good, Katie?
Yeah,
And you know what's on
I
tomorrow?
already did the homework.
And you know what's on the quiz?
Yeah.
Okay. Jameson, you got a homework question or a notes question from chapter 3?
No, I think I'm good so far.
All right. Thanks for coming in. We'll do this again tomorrow if you want to.
All right, thank you.
So,
Bye.
my mom's making me join now, so I'll see you tomorrow.
I think I love your mom. Bye.
See you, Miss Rose.
Bye-bye.